Welcome to Not a Podcast, episode 7.
It's crazy to think that this is week 7 already.
Right? It's almost been 2 months since we started. It is Sunday, October 11th, or wait, is it the 12th now?
12th.
Yeah, it's the 12th now. It's 2:25 in the morning, and we are doing this a little earlier than normal.
Or a little later than normal, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Trying something a little different. Changed up the background angle. Got the cameras facing a little bit different. See if it works out better.
No, I figured we could go for a bit more of a professional approach instead of sitting in a couple of lawn chairs. But yeah, this is MS Videos. This is not a podcast. Week 7. We have a couple of things to talk about in the gun news world, a couple of things to talk about in the cars news world, and a couple of things to talk about in the Corolla news world. So all of that will be brought to you today.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
So Newsom's an idiot.
Yeah.
Signed into law a bunch of new bills. And the list was really long. It was a lot. And the big ones that are worth talking about are AB 1127, which is the Glock ban.
Right.
Glock ban.
We did talk about this.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a week or two ago. You know, one of the episodes we talked about how this ban specifically, or this bill, I should say, specifically bans a specific type of trigger mechanism, which is heavily used in, for example, Glocks.
Yeah.
Hence why it got the nickname Glock ban, because I think it's more directly to ban guns in general in the state of California than it is to ban this specific trigger mechanism. Because in all reality, politicians don't care about trigger mechanisms.
Yeah.
They care about who has guns. And since Glocks are rather popular, worldwide owned, it's just an easier way for them to go, all right, well, if we just go Glock's gone, it's a lot of people that don't have.
It's the number one sold gun in California. Everybody has them. It's easy to get. It's reliable. It's inexpensive. And if they can say, you can't have it, that's a win for them.
Yeah.
It's a loss for us. I don't even like Glocks, but I think it's stupid.
And of course, this ban doesn't remove people in authority, you know, like police officers, stuff like that. They still have access to them.
Yeah. So in California, if you're not aware, there's a thing called a roster. And in order to buy a gun in California, you have to buy something that's on the approved roster. And it's basically just a list of firearms that the California Department of Justice has said are safe to own, because they made the manufacturers put a bunch of extra safety stuff like loaded chamber indicators and just extra stuff into the gun to make it safe in California.
And not to go on a big tangent, but this has always been confusing to me, the whole roster situation, because it's, you know, let's choose these specific guns to be safe, but if one gun is unsafe, all guns are unsafe, or if one gun is safe, shouldn't all guns be safe?
Yeah,
that's how I see it. So I don't get why.
It's a power play, and it's a way to limit the amount of firearms that are coming into the state. That's all it is. So certain guns are grandfathered in because they've been in existence prior to the roster being invented.
1911.
Yeah. But even then, you can't get certain 1911s because they were manufactured after the start of the roster, and therefore they have to be tested. And most manufacturers are not going to put the extra safety equipment
onto a 1911.
In order to make it legal for sale in California. Some do. Glock specifically does make their guns compliant to California. They've went through the steps. You know, there's the new Smith & Wessons. Some of the manufacturers that are like, look, California's too big of a market to not sell to.
Right.
So we'll spend the extra time and effort and money into developing these extra safety features to get it sold in California. But anyways, the roster, I had a point that I was talking about with the roster, but there's a bunch of guns that you can't buy in California because they're not on the roster. And if this is a way to take one of the largest portions of the roster off, by making this Glock ban, it's going to hurt California in a lot of ways because, as we've said before, criminals don't care about your laws. So the next one on there was AB 1078, and that one is restricting how many guns you can buy in a month. So if you're in part of the free United States, you can walk into a gun store and buy however many guns you feel like buying.
Yeah.
And if you buy multiple handguns, you do have to fill out a 3310. Well, the gun store does. And they report to your local law enforcement and the federal government that you bought more than one handgun in the same transaction. And it's just a formality. I've bought many of multiple firearm, handguns in the same transaction, and no one's ever knocked on my door or called me or asked me any questions. Yeah. But in California, they are making it to where you can only purchase 3 firearms in 30 days.
Now, granted, when this was originally pushed, it was one.
Yeah, they tried to pass it with you could buy 1 gun a month.
And even, Ninth Circuit was like, I don't know about that one. So they pushed it to 3, like that's any better, but.
But that one squeaked through. So if you can pass a background check, there should be no wait. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Comment down below if you think it is ridiculous to lose your right to buy a gun, except for 3 times a month.
I mean, there's been times you'd come home, in a week. You'd be like, oh, I bought another gun, and then you'd come home like 2 days later. Yeah, so I bought another gun, back in California anyway. So it's like.
I didn't find out if this applies to private party transactions because private parties are exempt from that. It's only on new gun purchases for the 10-day wait, as far as how many guns you can buy at one time.
So basically everyone's going to be a private party transferring now.
Yeah. So you can go to your local FFL and do a private party transfer, which means basically you submit your gun to the gun store, the FFL. They fill out a background check on you like you were buying the gun from them, and they hold on to it for the 10 days, and then at the end of the 10 days, you can come in and pick up your gun. Yeah, and they charge a small fee for that. But
yeah, you're going to find a lot more cousins and uncles coming around to pick up guns from each other now.
Right?
So to wrap up the 1078, is that it?
Yeah, that was 1078, SB 1078.
So wrapping up the 1070.
AB 1078.
Yeah, AB 1078. To wrap that up, basically, you only get 3 guns a month.
Choose wisely.
Yeah. If you disagree, do what you got to do. Make your voice heard. We don't live in California anymore. That doesn't really apply to us, but we do like to get the knowledge out there for the folks that do.
Yeah. On that note, something I don't do very often, I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, makes a difference.
It's nice when you get the weekly updates from YouTube and you can see, you had 63 new subscribers this week. It's nice to know that people find some type of value in what we're doing. So please, if you feel so inclined, just hit that little subscribe button.
Make sure you like the video too. Whatever video you're watching, make sure you like it. Not so much that it helps our channel grow, but it does help the algorithm. Yeah. Which gets our content out to more people.
Yeah, the more people that like it and comment, YouTube sees that and they share it more to the public.
We want the channel to grow, so subscribe. We want the channel to grow, so push our content for us, please. Thank you. Yeah. Perfect. On to the last bill that was, not the last bill that was signed, but one of the other major talking points that we wanted to talk about by Idiot Newsom. I think it was SB 704.
Yes.
Which is the requirement of a background check.
Hold on. I gotta do this.
Yeah. Just to put into perspective how ridiculous this is, he's going to go grab something to show you how ridiculous it is. Well, while he's going to do that, I'm going to give you the breakdown on SB 704 for you. SB 704 is a bill written, and it is requiring you to get a background check in order to purchase a barrel. A barrel. Just like how you have to go through a background check to purchase the lower receiver of a firearm, same goes for the barrel.
All right, I got props.
Yep.
So, y'all know what this is. Mm-hmm. It's an AR-15.
Yep.
Standard, nothing crazy about it. It's an Aero Precision lower with a bunch of parts on it to make it go pew-pew. Mm-hmm. This is a gun that you would have to do a background check, but the only background check that is required is on this piece, which is
the lower receiver.
The lower receiver. This is what has a serial number. This is the gun, as you would call it. Right. Everything else that is attached to this is a part that makes this gun work. But this is the gun right here. Mm-hmm. So this is the outcome of this. Mm-hmm. What AB 704 does is it makes the barrel right here.
I'm going to pull it out. Give it a look.
It makes the barrel. You have to do a background check to buy a barrel.
So basically these are going to be serialized as well now.
So, I mean, just think about that for a second. You already have to do a background check on this piece.
Yep.
So if you own this, you had to do a background check in California. Well, technically anywhere. Oh, that was stupid.
Right.
So this is the serialized part. You do a background check. You own it. You can convert. You can make into whatever type of rifle you want to make out of it, or pistol in some cases. But this is just a piece, and you have to now do a background check in California.
Pretty soon, you're gonna have to do a background check for your takedown pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, $12 for a part. And you got to do a background check for it.
Yeah. It's just a way to slow them down.
Yeah, I was just about to say, everything about this is just to make it harder for you to get what you want.
Yep. And it's a way for them to get more money because you got to pay for that background check.
Yep.
And, I mean, you can't even buy ammunition. You can't go to the store and buy a box of bullets without doing a background check on bullets. And it cracks me up because they're so worried that they're going to lose out on that dollar. I mean, it's like, come on, just be realistic. I would love to see an actual, like, unbiased stat on how many crimes have been prevented because somebody was denied a background check to buy ammo. Like, I would like to really see that.
Yeah, you know, just picture this in your head, guys. Criminal goes and buys a high point behind a Walmart. And then he goes into said Walmart to buy the 9mm that he needs to shoot said high point. But he stopped at the register. You need a background check to buy that ammo. Well, darn, there goes my plans of robbing the convenience store down the street. No, like you said, I'd love to see real world statistics on what that background check does to hinder a criminal from performing crimes.
Yeah. California. Go, Gavin Newsom, man. Coming up with all the ways to slow down your rights. Their rights, that's all they are.
Yeah, all it is another way to flood the chambers, as you know, anybody would call it, just slow everything down even more. Oh, there's another form you have to fill out that you have to wait 3 weeks before you get a response from.
Yep.
That's now going to turn into 6 weeks because you're literally doubling the paperwork. Literally doubling the background checks required to build an AR-15.
Yeah.
So it's unnecessary. It's ridiculous because we'll say it before and we'll say it again.
But if you go in and buy a complete gun from the store, do you have to do 2 background checks? One on the lower and then one on the barrel? I'm just curious.
That would seem ridiculous. That would seem absolutely preposterous. But it's California. You never know, honestly.
Never know. Okay, I think that wraps up that.
That wraps up gun news for all intents and purposes. Let's bring you into gun releases.
Yeah.
Only a couple, but one was cool and one was really cool.
Yeah.
So
let's start with the really cool.
Yeah.
FN.
Oh, I had it backwards.
Oh,
the really cool one's the new Staccato. You kidding me?
No, I mean the new Staccato. Well, I guess now we're on the Staccato. It's the HDC 3.6. Stands for 3.6 inch barrel, compact design on their new HD line, which does use Glock mags. So don't tell California. But
oh man,
it's kind of cool the way they did it. People buy Glocks because like if you're in a situation where like shit got real, right? And you need to find magazine for your gun because yours is broken, there's a good possibility that you can find one for a Glock because they're everywhere. Everybody has one.
For all you uneducated people out there, magazines are not universal.
Yeah.
In all the movies where you see a good guy pick a magazine off a bad guy, that doesn't really work like that.
It's called a battlefield pickup. And
But yeah, so
Staccato was like, you know what? Let's tap into this. People buy Glocks because they can find mags. Like in a problem, mags are cheaper to make than 2011 mags.
yeah.
They're
They're smaller too, which was
Yep.
a part of the whole compact situation. They wanted to make the grip module thinner.
Yeah, and they're using Metgar, which is they make high quality mags.
Yep.
They make for a bunch of OEs.
Yeah, we had a whole interview with Metgar guys at
We did.
SHOT Show.
Yep. And so they've got the HD. The first one that came out last year used Glock 17 mags.
A little bigger,
A little longer.
a little bigger capacity, you know,
Yep.
but it's what you get with a bigger mag. You get more rounds.
Yep.
This one's offering you a 15+1 setup, so you're getting 16 rounds still in a
Yep.
in a compact setup. That's
Uses the Glock 19 mag, which is just the shorter version of the 17 mag. Lose a few rounds of capacity, but smaller footprint.
Yep.
And they did a few other things, which was pretty cool. They on this one they're using the aluminum frame, which they've kind of thinned down even more. It's coming in at 1.2 inches in girth and width.
Right.
And just for fun, I grabbed a set of dial calipers and I was like, well, what's my 365 like macro weight, coming in at for width? And it's just under 1.1 inches. So for a tenth of an inch, you can carry an HD,
Yeah.
3.6 inch barrel, or for just a fraction of an inch smaller, you can carry the SIG 365 macro with 17 rounds.
the 365 is probably one of the most popular
I think
carry weapons out there right now. So giving it a comparison was a good idea. Yeah, the tenth of an inch difference to carry a Staccato with you, why not?
Yeah.
This new F in America MTL 30mm grenade launcher. It is designed to be lightweight, obviously used in military purposes. It was designed with a military contract in mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an AR styled grenade launcher to make it more comfortable to, people that are in active combat. It's real easy to transition to another AR style gun when you're carrying an AR style gun. But yeah, it can carry 5 rounds in its magazine because it is a magazine fed grenade launcher.
I love it. I love it. I need one.
Just thumping mics. Thump, 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 thump. It's awesome. It's genuinely just awesome.
We're moving on.
We did a little rambling, not a lot, but let's get into the car stuff, which takes us into probably one of the cooler ones this week, which is a remake of one of the most iconic cars, particularly for its sound. Because you talk about a Lexus LFA, naturally aspirated V12 that just screams. That thing is so beautiful at 10,000 RPMs. And now they're making another one, developed by Lexus, Toyota, GR. They're all the same company, but it's called the LFR, and this is I think in quotes it's called the Spirited Revival or something like that.
Spiritual successor.
Yep, the spiritual successor to the LFA. LFR, it's just another cool looking fast car that has an engine in it because we don't like batteries.
Yeah. And next up, we've got the Capricorn.
Yeah, this thing was cool. It was cool looking. It's literally it's in the description. It's a limited edition hypercar. Capricorn was the brains behind the motor, and then Zagato was the brains behind the design of the car. Zagato helped design Bugattis. So if you're looking at him and he was looking at him, he's like, it looks like a Bugatti.
Yeah.
It's because they were involved in the process behind designing Bugattis. But Capricorn has taken a V8 from Ford and basically Frankensteining it with all kinds of stuff. And it's a pretty interesting machine. It looks really cool. It's definitely a hypercar look. You know,
Yeah.
they used the same frame base off of you know, McLaren, a P1, to design it. So I'm interested to see how it will perform.
Yeah. One of the highlights here is the company has gone on record saying that they're designing it to be a driver's car.
Yeah.
Like
All mechanical.
All mechanical.
You know, you get functional gauges. You get real feedback from machinery and not electronic.
Yep. And no
electronic
hybrid.
based performance. Yeah. And no hybrid involved in this hypercar either. It's straight horsepower.
Next up, Corvette E-Ray.
So I know after last week and the blasphemous.
Shit on Jeremy so bad last week.
Yeah, so last week we brought to you the wonderful, exciting news that Corvette will be a SUV. Yeah, dry heaving.
Sorry, I had to choke it down.
But this week we find more Corvette news in the form of the E-Ray.
Yeah.
Which is still a hybrid. It will have a combustion motor, but it's taking what we were talking about in week 2 with the ZR1X
Yeah.
and putting it into more of a street car instead of it being this high performance machine. Now, if you guys remember in week 2, we were talking about the first American-made car to break lap times at Nürburgring, and that was the ZR1X, which, you know, I think it was somewhere like 1,300 horsepower, but it was using the same basic idea that the E-Ray has, which is hybrid motor and front-wheel drive electric motors to give you more stable acceleration and...
Yep. More grip.
Yeah, more grip. Yep. That kind of wraps up car news.
It does.
Yeah. So we brought to you the Capricorn Zagato, the Corvette E-Ray, and the Toyota Lexus
Yep.
LFR. So if you guys are interested in checking any of those out, I'll throw links in the description. But now we get to the cool stuff, which is the Corolla build and just a couple of updates that we have for you. But we're going to take a quick minute and get it cut in here so that we can regroup our thoughts.
Sounds good to me. Anyways, got the engine drained of all its oil and tested my AccuSump on the thread here on where the oil filter thread's on, and it does fit good, so we're good there. I am antsy. I want to get this thing going. Like, I got to make sure I do it right. So I got to get it clean, and that's going to take some prep work. And then I got to start taking things apart, which is more videos for the Corolla rebuild. We got the wiring harness in and the ECU in. I picked it up today from the post office because it was signature required. So we got the beams to Corolla harness.
And that came from, what's it called?
Panic. Yep. With the Rock and the Link ECU. We got the Mishimoto electric fan shroud set that actually fits on the coil radiator beams configuration into the Corolla. I should have ordered it at the same time, but I didn't read the description. I just clicked on the button and said, oh, let me buy that radiator.
Yep.
And if I would have read the description, they actually offer a discount if you buy them at the same time.
Of course.
Yeah. So anyways, read the description. I got all the hoses that John had listed in his beam swap video. He put all the part numbers in there, and so I wrote down all the part numbers and went on to Napa and said, those look like the ones, so ordered them all. Got those here. Some of them need some trimming. Decided to just quit trying to overdo it and doing too much at one time. Get the car running. That's the goal. Certain things are going to be replaced in the future. I already know that's going to happen. And to just stop trying to do it all at once. So I'm going to use the 4-link I already have. I'm going to use the tension rods I already have. What I'm still waiting on is the exhaust manifold. It'll be, ready hopefully in the next week. I've got the tie rods and steering knuckles from T3. I said, I'm going to do that part because it's under the engine, and I just want to get that done, set up. Control arms, stuff like that I can switch out later without having to take the engine out and things like that. Steering rack's a little bit more difficult, so I said I'm just going to put that in there now. I'm just going to get it done.
So if we're doing the steering rack right now, are we going to be dropping the subframe that it's attached to and like cleaning that up too?
Yes,
makes
because I
sense.
have the subframe spacers
Right.
to put in.
Yeah.
So I have to take it out anyways.
Yeah. We'll drop it, we'll clean it
up,
up, paint it,
Yep.
and then we'll get all the new parts attached to it.
Switch all that stuff over.
And then down the line, and we've already kind of discussed this, off camera, but down the line is when probably next spring at some point, we'll probably take the motor back out, go get the car cleaned up and painted and stuff, and
Yeah.
make it look pretty.
So
right now, it's all about functionality.
Yep. Which is why I've just like stopped trying to do it all at once. Just
Yep.
And as the parts are getting here, now the ECU's here, the harness is here. I ordered the fuel pressure regulator. Yeah. Anyways, ordered that. Those parts will be here in a couple days, and then it's getting really close to putting this sucker together.
Yep.
Got the coolant lines, got the radiator, the electric fan.
Yeah. We're sitting on a bunch of parts.
Yep.
And we're sitting on a Corolla that's ready to receive them.
Yes.
And now it's down to filming and editing and getting this thing ready to go.
I don't know. I'm stoked. I'm excited. So, anyways, it's late. We got to wrap this up. So, thank you for joining us, and hopefully, you learned something or at least laughed. So, and remember, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. All three of those help.
Yeah, hit all those fancy buttons down below.
Yep. Tim, thanks for coming back over after your crazy night.
Yeah, you get me started on that.
Only if you want to.
All right, guys. I'm Tim. I'm behind the camera. That's Dad.
Hey,
This is MS Videos, and we out.
we out.